If you're on your dreadlock journey, it's been less than a year like myself, and you've experienced shrinkage within your dreadlocks, so much so that it makes you feel not feminine anymore and not sexy anymore because your dreads are just short and blunted, then I am going to show you today in this video how I changed my short blunted dreads into some long flowing ends. Hello YouTube world, my name is Katie. If you're new here, then welcome, but if you're not new, welcome back, love. First things first, I am filming this on my phone, so I'm so sorry that my eyes are going over here because the camera's there and it feels weird to look over there, so I'm really sorry, but for the majority of me talking, I'm just gonna look over here. So anyway, like I said in the intro of this video, I'm going to show you the process today of how I changed my short pink blunted end dreadlocks into some nice flowing ended dreadlocks. Now, I have like zero experience with any hair or any beauty or anything for that matter. I am so bad at being a girl. One of the reasons why I wanted to get dreadlocks is because I just don't do maintenance. I'm really, really bad. So yeah. However, I was not aware about how much the dreads shrink. Even when I got them done in January, they had these flowing ends, but I didn't brush them. I didn't keep up with keeping the flowy ends, so they just ended up dreading up to what you saw in the thumbnail picture. So I'm going to show you my process now of what I did. I basically just went onto Etsy. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never bought hair before. However, I knew that I needed human hair. And I already had the dye from dyeing my hair before. So I figured I would just buy some, not platinum blonde, because it wouldn't have matched the colour. I tried to get a golden blonde. It worked. So without further ado, let me show you what I did. Okay, so here is a Tupperware box of medium to hot water. And all I'm gonna do is add my Goldwell Illumin. So this is the same hair dye that I dyed my dreads and the top of my hair with. So obviously in order for the extensions to actually look natural and normal, well, pink's not natural, but you know what I mean, to go along with the extensions, they need to be the same color. So let's get dyeing. So I'm just gonna put a few smidgens in because this is really, really pigmented. So I'm gonna put a few smidgens in and I'm gonna mix this up with my hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep adding until I've got to the colour that I need my basic dreadlock extension to be. A little bit more. Right, here is my sample. So I'm going to put it in and see what we get. If it's not dark enough, then I'll just add more. But remember that this will stay darker the longer that it's in, so I'll give it a couple of minutes to see. Is it taking at all? Slightly. So we'll leave that in. What's the time now? 5:17. Okay, I'm gonna leave this in for a couple of minutes, come back and then see if I need to add some more darker colour. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out about half of this water to make it just more pigmented. So let's get rid of that water and come back. All right, I've got rid of half of the water and I've grabbed what is this called? A whisk. I've grabbed a whisk because, I don't know, my brain was just telling me that I need this. So I'm going to put in some more dye and then I'm going to whisk it up. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just had this really weird feeling that was yo, go and get a whisk. So I did. I always listen to my inner self as much as I can, and this is what we're doing. Right, she's a little bit pinker, obviously, than the blonde. You can obviously tell that it's been coloured, but I need it to be the same colour as my dreadlocks. So we are gonna need to soak this a little bit longer. So second run, get in there and soak. I'll be back. All right, it's been about 3 minutes. I'm gonna come back and show you the progress of the dilution of the water, the extra dye and the whisk. And it's been, like I say, 3 minutes. And it's definitely a lot darker. Look at that. Hell yeah. That is after like 3 minutes. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna dunk the rest of the hair in, and I'm gonna leave it for about 10 minutes, I think. If I don't have enough water, what I'll do is just add a little bit more and then add a little bit more dye, and we should be good. This is all trial and error, so I'm doing this so you don't have to. You're welcome. Soak, baby, soak. Quick check. The light is on them, so they make them look a lot lighter than they are. Yeah, it's looking good. I think I'm gonna leave it in there for like another 5 minutes, and then I think we're good to go. I think I'll be happy and I'll show you the result after. All right, it's been about 15 minutes, so I think I'm gonna be happy with the result. I'm just gonna get them out now. I'm gonna towel dry them, then I'm gonna blow dry, and then we'll see what we're saying. So that looks good. Oh yeah. See how easy this method is, by the way. If you guys have got like hair extensions and you actually do hair extensions, because like I don't, this is the first time I've ever done this, but if you want to dye your hair extensions, I fully recommend the water method, because I was not going to sit there and paint on the dye with these. I mean, you can, obviously, you know, if that's something that you like to do, but me personally, it's not really something that I like to do. I fully recommend this water method to anyone that has hair extensions. If you would like to dye your hair extensions a really quick and easy way, I really recommend this, because look, 15 minutes, and you saw this was blonde, right? And I think we could get away. I mean, look at the colour. It's a pretty good match, right? Especially the end. The end is like super dark, which is really weird, because I would have thought that the ends would have been lighter, but I don't know. I think we can get away with this though. I mean, it is a lot lighter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it, because we all know that it, you know, changes once it's dry. So I'm going to towel dry it. I'm going to blow dry it, and then we're going to see where we're at. And if I want to dye it again, then I will. Okay, we have dried, and It's really strange. The ends are like dead on, like actual dead on. Look, you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. But the top part is like a lot lighter. You can't really see because the light makes it look like it's the same. But I think I'm going to go in again and just saturate the top part with less water, because I just need to get this the same colour as this, and then we all good. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna blow dry it, and then I'll be back again. So the next time you see me, I should have the perfect colour extension to get ready to go into the dreads. Voila. So finally I have the colour that matches my dreadlocks. Let me show you. So these are the colour of my dreadlocks, so they're kind of like darky pink, which is this because I have a video on my YouTube of me dyeing my hair with my dreadlocks with this. So this is the colour now, see, this is perfect. You can't really see too much because the light is like smack bang on it, but this is ideal now. I can get away with putting extra length onto my dreadlocks, and look, look, you can't even tell, it matches perfectly. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I also noticed that I haven't even told you about this whole thing and like what's going on here. Basically, I pulled out one of these because these are like the little separate ones. So I pulled one out so I could do a tester, and that is the tester. I may have even said that, I can't even remember. Sorry, this video is everywhere. I'm just so excited I finally got the colour. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use this as like a plaster, as like a repair basically. So for any weak spots that I have in the dreads where like basically you can get like weak spots, what you can do with this is you just like rough it up, get it to where it would be like, you know, a little bit of a matted sort of bird's nest. And then what you can do with this is you can find your weak spot wherever it is, say that that's my weak spot, and then you can wrap that around. Obviously it would be a smaller section for your weak spot, but you can wrap that around as like a sort of band-aid plaster type thing, and then that can then be crocheted in, and then you've literally just sorted out your weak spot with some extra hair. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'll chop that up a little bit, and this will be used to repair the weak points in the dreads. Yeah, really happy with the result. So the next part of the video is going to be me trying to extend some of them because I'm not happy with the length of some of them. As you can see, like there's one here, look how short that is. Look, this is just what happens. Basically they shrink as your hair starts to grow. Your hair shrinks up into the lock and then it will just shrink. So what I'll be able to do is I will grab, this is why I got like these separate ones, because I can grab these separately just like this, and then what I'll do is I'll chop that end off. I'll put it like this so it's half and half. And then basically, I'm going to show you all of this anyway, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what's going to happen. And then with the end of this here, I'm going to basically knot, because I don't think there's a knot. There is a small knot, actually. I can go into that small knot. Where that knot is there, I'm going to take this loose hair, and I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to crochet that into there, like this. So then I'll have that like that. But then I'll back comb a little bit, crochet a little bit, and then leave this as a flowy end, because none of these are flowing anymore. As I said in my like video when I first got them, I said these ends will dread anyway, and that's exactly what's happened, but I didn't realize that they went quite this bad, and I want to keep the flowy look. That's the next part of the video, guys. I will see you. Sorry, I lied. I just want to show you quickly what I mean by the band-aid plaster sort of thing, right? So here there is a weak spot, as you can see. It's like really weak right there. So what I want to do is make this little weak spot stronger. So what I'm going to do is I've already cut off like a tiny piece of the hair, so now there's nothing attached to it and this is all loose. what I'm going to do is, like I showed you, rough it up in your hands, like it for getting into like a little bird's nest type thing. So it's all like little matted sort of thing. And then what I do, you don't have to do this, this is optional, it's just what I do. I have a knit comb, and then I just kind of back comb it a little bit with the knit comb, just to make it even more knotty, if you will. So I get a few knots in it like that, and then you can see that it's just like a matted mess, which is exactly what you want. So after that, kind of smush it in your hands a little bit like this and create yourself, I guess, like a thumbprint within the hair, right? That's the only way I can really explain it. So where your thin section is, right there, what you want to do is grab your little bird's nest and wrap it around, right? So wrap that around there to make it thicker, and you can twist it and you can wrap it however which way you like. Just hold that in place whilst you get your crochet needle. Now what I have is a 0.75 double, just to make it a lot quicker and easier, but you can just use a normal 0.75 for this. So once you have your little bird's nest around the section where it needs to be thicker, I'm just gonna get my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Once you've got that there, you then grab your crochet needle and just go in and out a couple of times, then hold the hair, twist, go in and out again where that matted section is and where you're holding it. Go in and out a few times, stop, twist, in and out a few times again, and you'll find that after you've done this a few times, I'll be able to let go in a minute, and the hair is attached onto it. It's not fully done, obviously, but the hair is attached just after 3 of these, and I do think it's because of the double. So as you can start to see it taking form here, what you will then do is sort of smooth over wherever you'd like it to go. So I need it down here a little bit more, so I'm going to pull that down a little bit, twist it, get my crochet hook, go in and out again, twist it the other way, and just keep twisting, going in and out until that bird's nest type thing goes into the weak spot. Then give it a palm roll. You can already see now, look. So then all you'd need to do now is just tidy it up. So you can tidy it up with the 0.75 if you would like, but my personal size, I guess, of crochet needle to use to tidy up would be a 0.5. And yes, I know that is very, very small compared to the usual 0.75 that most people do use, but honestly, to get all those flyaway hairs, I do not use anything other than a 0.5. It just gets all of the hairs that you need into the dread. So this here is now my little band-aid. Can you see, look? That, I think the weak point was here. I think we did it there. So now it's a little bit thicker because you've added some hair, but that's okay because you can just palm roll it out. So that's what I use that for. Remember, make it into a bird's nest, and then you can doctor your dreads any way you need to. Hello my loves, welcome back. I'm filming this on my phone, so I keep forgetting that the camera's there, so I'm sorry about that. It's been a few days and I have been working on this side of my head. So yeah, the length is definitely longer. Now I wanted to come back in a couple of days basically because I wanted to make sure that what I was doing was going to like work and also like stay in as well, right? So I just wanted to like check that what I was doing was gonna work before I came back over and be like, hey guys, try this. Do you know what I mean? So I know that the method that I have used for this side of my head has worked. I mean, like, look at the difference. I am so proud of myself, like, honestly. Like, I don't really get proud of myself very much, but this is something that I've been like, oh my god, I did it. Like, I actually did it myself. I went and bought hair. This is the first time I've ever bought any extension hair in my life, okay? I'm not a girly girl. I just need to put this out there. I don't do hair. I don't do makeup. I don't know what I'm doing. So I was going to have a friend that was going to help me buy the hair, but I impulsively just bought it on Etsy. And that was the hair that you would have seen in the first couple of shots of the video. And then I just dyed it, and I just kind of looked at a few things to do, different options. And I thought, you know what, let's do it. And oh my god, like, I'm so proud that I did it, and I just want to pass it on to you guys, because if you're feeling like I was feeling, which was just not feminine enough, like, I love my dreads, don't get me wrong, I love my dreads, but look at the length of them compared to, like, this is what they used to be, like, basically. They were dreaded down a little bit longer and then had, like, more flowy ends, but they used to be long, and I just felt so much more womanly and more feminine and more sexy having the longer hair. And yeah, so this has been like a long time coming for me. So the fact that I've able to gone out myself, buy the hair, real human hair, and yeah, so I'm gonna show you how to do this. So this is what I've been doing. I've been taking the top bit that's obviously like blonde, where it was tied up all together, and then cutting that top piece off at an angle. So cutting that top piece off, so this is gone now, and you're left with just this hair bit here. And then what I do, you don't have to do it, but you can do this, where you separate the hair and then put it back on each other, but at like a slight angle. And then do that like one more time. And then what it does is it tapers the edge. It doesn't give you just the hard end, basically. And then you can pull some out and move it any way you want. But basically that like tapers the edge down. And then I'll just pull that and put that over. So you can see now that it kind of tapers, right? And then if there's extra hair here, I'll just pull that out and then put that over the top like that. Until I've got basically this. So now what I will do is I will separate the one that I want to extend from the rest of them. So we'll go with this one. I'll pop that back and put it into a hair tie so that I know these are the ones I have left to do. Put that behind there. These are obviously already done. You can put a hair tie in them if you want, but I think they'll stay there. So now with this section, you need to have a little bit of fluffiness for it to work, because otherwise if you just put this over that, which is what we're going to do, you'll still have this section here which will stick out. So what I've been doing is I've been chopping off like the end bit where it's basically falling off anyway, this little bit here, put that somewhere else, and then get my knit comb and then kind of fluff it up a little bit. This is extension hair as well, by the way. This is not my hair, but the extension just all your dreads shrink. They all shrink once they start to kind of lock up, and that's when you get like the bumps. If you're wondering what the lumps and bumps are, that's when your hair shrinks and it kind of locks up into the dreadlock. But it just gets shorter each time it does that. So yeah, you want to create like a little fluff section here. Just kind of go in and out any way you can, just kind of get rid of some of those knots, you know what I mean? Just make it so that it flows a little bit more seamlessly. So if I show you this up close, can you see how it just like seamlessly goes in? Let me just find you a better one. So that's what we want to do. We want to make a seamless interaction with the flowy end. All right, there's a little knot there now. So then what you can do is you grab your hair again and you come over, put it on top of the fuzzy bit, but like right by the knot. Okay, so it's like this. Fuzzy bit's there, the knot's right where my finger is here. Put the hair on your finger like this. So you've got these two sections and you're holding it with your finger, and my thumb is here, so I'm kind of 2 fingers and thumb here. 0.75. Now I have ordered a hook, a latch hook needle last night, which should be on its way today. So if I stop and change needles, it's because I've had the delivery. I think it will just make it easier if you have a latch hook, so I've just bought a latch hook, but for now all I have is, the biggest one I have is a 0.75. However, I would recommend if you had a bigger one, like a 1, that would work as well. So you just want to go in through the knot of the dread. You want to go in through the knot, right, where your finger is holding the hair here. Just grab a little piece. This is what I've been doing. But go from like an angle, like up from, so you want to go like this way, right? So through the knot at an angle, grab some of that hair and just pull it through. So I'll do a few and then you'll see what I mean. So after you've done a few, you can kind of see it going like this, and then what you do is twist it, or just go in a different direction if you can. I just find it easier to kind of twist it and then start again this way. And just pull the hair in different directions, not just one place. You want to be pulling that loose hair through into different places. So just move the needle in a different position each time you pull it through, if that makes sense. So you kind of end up with what's looking like this. Starts to look like this. Okay, I'm going to keep going a little bit more. It starts to look like this, and then I just kind of like back comb just a little bit here, just get this bit like puffy. Yours might not need to do this because you might not have like super fluffy ends like me, but I just back comb a little bit and then palm roll, and then right at the very end I get my 0.5 and I'll just kind of like right at the end here just make that a little bit tighter, just crochet this in, make a little sort of a loose knot, but more just to tighten it in a little bit around the bottom. And then you've got your loose flowy end, and you can cut it as well if you want, if it's too long. So what I do is I'll bring it across my face like this and then just sort of cut at an angle, and then it still stays tapered. You don't get that harsh cut off, but I'll still keep this little bit of hair because I'll just make that into a tiny little band-aid like we did earlier, and then I'll just kind of keep that and add that to any more little band-aids, and then it'll become a bigger one. So that's basically how I've been doing it. So I'll show you a couple more and then I'll just get on and do it, and then obviously I'll show you the end result.